H6 notes today. We're learning all about y equals mx plus b, and then using that to graph lines instead of the other ways we've been doing. Okay? Just know that so Friday you don't have school of this week. Next week, Tuesday, if you're a junior, you have school. If you're not a junior, then you don't have school. We'll have something for you. But it won't be late down. It starts at, so last day of school. So that is up to spring. And then the following week, you've got your test. Okay? All right, let's do this. Let's jump into some notes, okay? So today we are going to explore this wonderful thing called y equals mx plus b. Okay? So y equals mx plus b is a form of an equation. Okay? I know it's an equation because it's got an equal sign in it. And that makes it an equation. It's got x in it. It's got y in it, just like we've been dealing with point 0.7x, y. Okay? M. Where have we seen m before? Slope. It's the slope. Yep, it's the symbol for slope of a line. Yeah. You must not have been in class that day. No. What, see, well, first off, an S looks like a 5. So that's why it's not an S. But it was a French mathematician that came up with the concept. And he was walking up and down the hills in his village, and he noticed that all the hills had different steepness or pitch to them. And so the French verb is monte, to climb a hill. Monte. And so that's what he went. I know. Come on, Descartes. Why you gotta do that to us? Okay? Alright? Alright? So, what I want you to do is, in your note packet, I want you to turn back to your H3 notes. Okay? So we're looking at our H3 notes. Oops, I went backwards too. Okay? So in your H3 notes, everybody should right now turn to their H3 notes so that you see it. Don't be rolling your eyes at me when I'm asking you to do something that I know what we're doing. I can do that too. Okay? Alright? So what specifically we're looking at is we are specifically looking at this line right there. That 0x line. Okay? That's the line that we want to look at. And then you should have it all like filled in and all that fun stuff, like y equals -2 times 0 then plus 3 and all that fun stuff. And you should have that one, right? Okay? Right? Where is that point on our graph? Come on, control. No, really. Because here, use your finger and circle it. That one right there? That one right there. Everybody agree with that one right there is the 0 one that we just did. It really is up 3. He just made a big old dot wrong. Okay? Alright? Okay? Everybody agree with that? Circle that one. So put a star by this line. Put a star by that line and put an arrow to that point. The point that you just pointed out. Okay? Star by the line. I know. If you don't want to be here, why are you here then? You know what I mean? Star there and an arrow there. Okay? Right? Next one down. Okay? Here's the line that we're looking at. Right? So put a star by that line in the table on H3 still. And we're looking at this point right there. So we should put an arrow to that point right there. Hopefully you have a graph that you can put an arrow to on that one. Yeah. Now, let's see if we can figure out a pattern going on. Okay? So next one that I want you to turn to is your homework for H3. Everybody should have your homework for H3. Hopefully it's done. So we're looking at this 0 line in H3. Okay? If we're looking at that 0 line and then that point. Anybody notice a pattern yet? We've done 3 of them now, where we've highlighted the 0 line and we've highlighted the intersection point. Anybody see a pattern going on yet? No patterns yet? What? What do you mean it's got no X? If it had no X, it would just be one single solitary number. So there still is an X. It's what? The point, this point is going to be graphed onto the y-axis every single time. Okay? Because remember that, oops, not crayon. Remember that this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. So far, all of those points have graphed onto the y-axis. Okay, let's check number 2. Let's see if Dom's pattern holds up. Yay or nay? Did the pattern hold up? Yep. So when we have a 0 here, that's going to be on our y-axis. Okay? One more check just to see if the pattern held up. Yep, pattern held up on that one too. Okay? All right? Come on now. There we go. All right? So back to H6 notes now. Back to your H6 note page today now. Okay? So what did we just learn about y equals mx plus b? Well, let me go back and let me highlight one more thing on all of those that we just did. Okay? So right here, this said our y-intercept was 3. I draw your attention to that. This one, it said that the y-intercept was -2, right? I draw your attention to that. On this one, it said that the y-intercept was -1. I draw your attention to that. See a pattern developing? What do you got, Jake? So the number that comes after the variable, not before, because the before number is different. After the variable is, but on all of them it's -1? It's what? Somebody just said it. It's what? It's the y-intercept. That number that comes after the variable is the y-intercept. Okay? So, when we have something called y equals mx plus b, m, we know, is the slope of the line. What's another way of saying the slope of a line? Rate of change is another way of saying slope of a line. On a graph, how can we say slope of a line? How do we find the slope of a line on a graph? Say it louder, Tom. Rise over run. So that is our rise over our run. Rise over run there. Okay? And what we just learned is this number that comes after the variable. Okay? That number that comes after the variable is something called the y-intercept. It is where the line crosses the y-axis. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So, in that box that you have right next to that now, your first equation is y equals 4x minus 5. Y equals 4x minus 5. My slope is what? In that red box, what is my slope going to be? Chloe? Just 4. Okay, just the number, not the x, because the x is there in both of them, right? So the slope then is going to be 4. Okay? Now my y-intercept is going to be what? -5, but that we need to write it as a point. And so that point, when we write it, is going to be 0, comma, b. Okay? The y-intercept is a point, so we need to put it in point form. 0, comma, b. So my y-intercept here would be 0, comma, -5. Okay? You quickly do the next two, third one first. Okay? In the third one, okay? What is my slope? Number 3. We got Roger? 1. Yep. So because when it's not written, we assume that it's 1. We assume that this is y equals 1x plus 2. Okay? If that's my slope, what's my y-intercept then in this one? We got, well, no. 0, comma 2 would be my y-intercept, because that then tells me I got to put parentheses around it. Oops, I put 5 again. Come on, Lens. 0, comma 2. Okay? Okay? Number 2. Okay? Do I have it written in y equals mx plus b form? It's the other way around, right? So first I got to rearrange it so that it's in y equals mx plus b form. And this is where, now, you guys have been wondering why I've been saying that these, writing it like this is wrong. The reason I've been saying up to this point that writing it like this is wrong is because it's not in y equals mx plus b form. Okay? And I wanted to get you into that y equals mx plus b form. So what would this be in y equals mx plus b form? -3x or positive 3x? -3x plus 7. Okay? So with that being the case now, what is the slope? -3 is the slope. What is my y-intercept point? 0, comma 7. Good job. Okay? Flip over. Think, are we at a flip? No, not at a flip yet. It's in a goofy order. The notes are in a goofy order. We're actually going back up one. Okay? So here is a chart then. Okay? So now that we know how to do this, okay? So we want to fill in this row. Okay? Now we could calculate this out. We could fill in stuff right here, but we don't want to fill that in stuff. We want this to go much, much faster. Okay? So this is going to be the point 0, comma, something. Right? Will, what do you got? 4? Do we all agree with 4 there? Yep, because it's this number right there. Okay? So that's going to be 4. So that's going to be 4. Fantastic. So, Dylan, where on my graph is the point 0, comma 4? Up 4 from the origin? Yep, we're going to go up 4 from the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 4 from the origin. Fantastic. We now have a point on our line. Okay? We also have the slope of our line. So we've been doing the last couple of days, since last Thursday, we can graph our line because we now have a point that's on our line, and we now have a slope. Okay? What is the slope of this line? -3. Okay? Which means, what is my rise? Nope. My slope is -3. Right? So what is my rise? If my slope is -3, what is my rise over my run? Will? So my rise is -3. And my run is 1. So my rise would be -3. My run would be 1. In terms of directions, what directions are those two? -3 is down. Running 1 is right. Okay, so this would be down 3 and right 1. 1, 2, 3, right 1. Put a dot. 1, 2, 3, right 1. Put a dot. 1, 2, 3, right 1. Put a dot. Can't go any further on that one. Can go up 3. 1, 2, 3, and left 1. Put a dot. There we go. Okay? Then, using our straight edge, and not just our straight edge like on between 2 points, but our straight edge all the way across the graph. Okay? Using our straight edge all the way across the graph, making sure that it hits the points. Say that as I missed one. I know. Come on. It doesn't ever let me move this thing around. I know. There, see there, it finally let me. I know it's bad. Come on. On who? Oh yeah, let's play this on. You bet. Okay. Try some more. Now I think we're on the back side. So many graphs, but luckily we got an easier way to do it now. We don't have to make a chart. We don't have to find anything. We got everything that we need right here for us. Okay? So let's plan our work before we work our plan. meaning let's find all of our information first. Okay? So in number 4, it says y equals 2/3 x minus 4. Somebody give me one thing, one piece of information that hasn't answered yet today. Somebody that hasn't answered yet today. Somebody that hasn't answered today, give me one piece, either give me the slope or give me the y-intercept. I don't know who hasn't answered today yet. You've answered today already. Yeah, you've answered today already. You've answered today already. Austin, what do you got for me, buddy? Is 2/3 x or just 2/3? Just 2/3, and which one is that? The slope. Yes, it would be. The slope is 2/3. Love it. Okay. Somebody else that hasn't answered today. Give me the y-intercept. What do you look at? Oh, nailed it! 0, -4. Okay? Remember, it's y equals mx plus b. Okay? All right? Now, if my y-intercept is 0, -4, this should be a resounding, let's see what we got, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I should hear 18 voices. 19 now that Mr. Brown's in the room. I should hear 19 voices coming back at me. Where is 0, -4 in 2 words? Why not? Okay, you just said no just to say no? Okay. Do we agree with down 4? Okay, all right. So I go down 4 from the origin. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I put a dot right there. Now, my slope is what? 2/3, so give me 2 directions, 2 numbers. 2 up and 3 right? Okay, 2 up and 3 right. Here we go. 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. Put a dot. Rinse, lather, repeat. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3. Put a dot. Okay. What if I don't like up 2, right 3? Could do what? Down 2 and left 3. Down 2 and left 3 would be my other option. 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put a line through it all the way across. Where do the arrowheads of the line end up? Off of the graph. Okay? We use those rulers all the way through, making sure, and we put arrowheads on it all the way through. Love it. Okay? Let's do another one together. Let's do number 5. Ooh, what do we first have to do before we can figure out what's what? What do you got for me, Chloe? The terms, right? Not just the numbers, but the terms. Okay, so what should it be instead of y equals 5 minus 2x? Love it. Y equals -2x plus 5. Okay? So now, with that being said, Cora, give me one of them. I'll let you choose which one you want to give me. Slope is -2. I would concur that our slope is -2. Wyatt, give me the y-intercept. 0, 5. Love it. Love it. Huh? Kiana, where is the point 0, 5? put a dot. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. There it is. Alright? Really, what does a slope of -2 mean to you? Down how many? Okay. That's one. Remember, because slopes give me, you got to give me 2 directions and 2 numbers. So you gave me a direction of down 2. Oops, I'm going to go this finger. I went this finger and then I went up. Okay, down 2 and well, how can I write -2 as a fraction? -2/1, right? Okay, so what does that over 1? So the down 2 is the -2 on the top. What is that over 1? What's that going to tell me? Right 1. Yep, exactly. Down 2 and right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Roll down a little bit. Down 2, right 1, and down 2, right 1. Alternative would have been up 2, left 1. And again, 3. Draw it all the way across. Okay? Some of you have already started this, but please do the remaining 4 on this page. Gives me the slope of -1 and the y-intercept of 5. 1, negative 1 is down 1, right 1. Up 1, right. Agree with my number 6. Yeah. Okay. Number 7 would have a slope of -1/2 and a y-intercept of -3. 0, -3. One, 2, and 3, so right there. And then a slope of -1/2 is down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. Or I could also go up and left. Love it? These two. This is really y equals 4x plus 0, right? Because adding 0 doesn't change my value at all. So that tells me that my slope then is 4, and my y-intercept is 0, 0, which is right smack dab in the middle. I don't have to go anywhere from the origin. It is the origin. Then my slope of 4 is up 4, right 1. Or I can go down 4, left 1. This one, I don't have any x's. So when I don't have any x's, that's like y equals 0x minus 2. Because 0 times x is 0. 0 minus 2 is So that tells me that my slope then is 0, and my y-intercept is -2. Slopes of 0 are horizontal lines, so we're literally going straight across, just like